Hello and welcome to the Red Dragon MODUS Super Series Darts Influencer Showdown draw. After the success of the first event, would have been silly not to put on another one. So for the big draw, we needed some big names. We've got former Premier League champion Glenn Durrant, and Rusbury wouldn't return our calls, so we've got Owen Binks.
Watch it, Kenyon.
Fellas, the first event, a big success. What do you think, Glenn, from a player's perspective?
Yeah, I mean, professional players will often do exhibitions, and it does have a little bit of a feel of that. But a couple of things, obviously, I came up, it felt like a new audience. You know, it's a great place to play darts here as well, and dart players don't come to lose. So as much as it's a bit of an exhibition, you know, the players, every player that, you know, will want to play in the event will want to try and lift that trophy at the end. So it was a fantastic innovation. It was a great and delight to see, you know, number 2.
Oh, and obviously you refed the last event. What was the standard like for you? Perhaps better than you expected or worse?
That's a tough question, Jake. To be honest, I came off the back of a 3-day Pro Tour, so the drop was a bit, you know, quite significant. But no, fair play. There's a few goodish players. I thought George Scaife put in a good show. Charlie Murphy, shout out to the winner. Special moment for me was being able to call for my mate Cole, you know, my longest friend. So he was pretty terrible, but it was still quite good to call for him. So it was a fantastic day.
Well, we have to remember that all the ticket sales do go to charity. Last time it went to Cancer Research UK. This time it's going to be going to the Jack Dowding Foundation. We actually caught up with the founder behind the foundation earlier this week with Isabel Jin.
If you could you tell us a bit about the foundation and why you set it up?
Yeah, of course. So January 2027, unfortunately, we lost my son Jack, who died of juvenile diabetes. And Jack was a massive darts fan. He played darts all over the place. He watched darts all over the place. And fittingly, we wanted to do something in Jack's memory. There was a huge clamour of people asking us what we could do. So we immediately set up a foundation called jackdowdingfoundation.com. And that's purely to tell Jack's story, but also to raise money for juvenile diabetes.
And if you don't mind talking about it, how sudden was his passing? How quickly can those things change?
It was very quick. So basically what happened on the day, so I had some work I had to do in the garden. 8 o'clock in the morning I saw Jack and we were chatting about things. He said he was feeling a little bit under the weather and he didn't know if he was going to go to work. He worked part-time in Marks and Spencer's, and I said, like typical dad, I said, Jack, do your bloods, tell me where you are. And he said, no Dad, I've done them, they're all okay, yeah, they're all fine, yeah, reassured me. I went out into the garden, did some work, came in about an hour and a quarter later, went upstairs to take a drink up, and he'd already gone. So he'd obviously had a huge high, and what that did was that would have stopped his heart, and that would have put him into a coma straight away. So my wife, who'd been a nurse all of her life, I called out to her, she rushed up, she tried CPR on Jack, and she did CPR until the ambulance arrived. But the reality was he'd already gone. And Angie, my wife, knew that, and obviously she was trying to be as delicate about it as she was, as she could, but she realised it was just very sudden. And as a parent, you know, you always think, oh, if I hadn't gone out and done this, I hadn't done that, could have I done it different? And that's all the things you'll always wrestle with in your life. But it just shows you how dangerous an illness it really is.
What kind of brought you to create the foundation as quickly as you did, and how did that come about?
Yeah, I think when you lose somebody, the worst thing you don't want to happen is to lose the memory of that person. So you feel if you do something, it keeps the memory alive as much as you can. I mean, the research really ultimately will go to finding either a cure for your pancreas not being able to make insulin, or to research funds maybe to have an operation to actually have something operated on to actually give you something that will create insulin. Because obviously as a diabetic, if that can happen, and be amazing the day that it does, then all the worries and concerns you have to go away. I mean, there's been some amazing strides in the last few years. You know, the finger pricking that, you know, people used to have to do 4 or 5 times a day, probably minimum, is now going away because the other way it can be detected, you know, and that's a great thing. I mean, you know, you hear people, oh, something pricked me, you know, I thought, well, you imagine doing that with a needle 5 times a day, every day, squeezing your finger to get blood out just to check what your levels are, you know, and also I think, you know, people do find that difficult, you know, they feel, oh, I must go to the toilet and do it and hide, I can't show it in front of other people. So, you know, the research is massive, and it's wonderful to see they're actually making some strides now with links to apps and things to alert you if you're going low, and And, you know, if had some of those things been around when Jack was here, then, you know, maybe it could have been saved potentially. You know, it just makes a massive difference. And you know personally from your own story that, you know, what you want one day is them to say, look, if you pop in for a bit of keyhole surgery today, that'd be it. You won't have to worry about it anymore.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
You know, the worst thing in the world was if research had to stop because it didn't have enough money to do it. So, you know, once again, thank you to all the guys at MODUS. Thanks for Jason for putting it on your website as well. I really massively appreciate that. And all of the guys and all the influencers that are going to play on the day and all the dart players, you know, and I've given Jake some stickers that he said kindly some of the guys are going to wear on their shirts to raise awareness again. So like a massive thank you for everybody involved from me.
Well, here we go, fellas. The draw is upon us. Glenn, if you could do the honours of starting the pairs draw.
I don't think we'll be getting invited for the FA Cup, do you?
Not with that shake.
Henderson and Angry Ginge.
Wow, big pull straight out of the bat. That is probably the biggest pair we've got, arguably. Oh, and if you would like to find out who they'll be playing.
Little shake. And they will play number 11, Reece Colley and Nyland.
Reece Colley and Sean Nyland. Reece Colley actually came in. He was the last player to come in. We had a few people who had to drop out, unfortunately. Sean Nyland, actually a bit of a handy player, I believe. He's been playing Charlie Murphy on stream. He's about 60 average, and so is Angry Ginge, so that should be a good game. And then obviously Big Hendo and Reece Colley. Glenn, if you'd like to take us to the next draw.
Peterson and FG.
Devon Peterson and FG, another big pair. FG known in the FIFA community. He actually works for Manchester City, and obviously Devon, well known within the sport. Who will they be playing, Owen?
They will be playing Robert Thornton and the Hull Boy.
The Hull Boy. He's actually doing a marathon before this event. Glenn, could you play darts after doing a marathon the day before?
Maybe not a marathon, maybe a Mars bar, but not a marathon. That's showing my age because they're called Snickers now, aren't they? It used to be called a marathon, but yeah, maybe the joke's gone over people's head.
And obviously Robert Thornton there, big name. Glenn, if you could take us to pair number 5.
Morris and Moores.
Henry Moores. He's actually walking all the way to the Super Series from Manchester. He's going to be documenting it. That's his big thing. He walked from Manchester to Ibiza. He walked from Manchester to Germany. So that's going to be really interesting. Another person who's doing a lot of physical exercise before the darts. Who will he be playing now, Owen?
Morris and Moores will play, here we go, Steve West and Darts for Fun.
This is a proper pair, by the way. We will announce now. We've teased that Darts for Fun will be playing with a little bit of a handicap, but it's 48 gram darts. How can that affect him, Glenn? Because he's a steady player.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan Searle is the guy who plays with the heaviest dart, around about 34 grams. So if you add another 14 grams on top of that, it's very difficult. I mean, we used to play with a very light dart, a very heavy dart, and a standard dart. And throwing that heavy dart can be really difficult. And yeah, he'll find that tough.
I mean, we've seen the return of Steve West as well, playing great stuff, so it's great to see him back on the stage. Glenn, if you could pull out the final 2, I mean, we're going to know who's playing who here because there's only 2 left, but still.
Brooks and Away Days.
Oh, and you actually know a little bit about Away Days, Ellis Platten?
Well, Away Days is the main one I know, to be fair. Yeah, he's been down to the famous Colchester United before on a couple of occasions. That's how I'm aware of him. So I'll be, I'm completely impartial, but I hope he wins. And he will be playing... Let's have a look. Well, they will be playing the last name in the draw.
Don't look at the wrong camera this time like I've just done.
Oh, no, you've messed it all up. We've got to start again, haven't we? He's going to be playing the one and only Mason Whitlock and Oakle.
Oakle Fish, yes.
Oakle Fish.
Mason Whitlock, actually the only person returning from the first event. You know, he's a great character, and he put a 180 in when he shouldn't last time and all that. He really understands that. And Oakle Fish, a legend of the FIFA community. So there we go, guys. That's the pairs draw complete. We're now going to move on to the singles influencer draw.
Just got a message from Hinksy. Is the double in, double out best of 7?
So here we go. It's the singles influencer draw, potentially the biggest part of the competition, as Owen alluded to earlier. Charlie Murphy, the previous winner. Who will join him?
Yeah, I really enjoyed and it was just to see the passion and the desire when the winning double went in as well. There was some fantastic moments. So, you know, the players will come for a little bit of fun as well, but when you sink that winning double on this stage, you know, it's a great feeling. So good luck to all players, and I think I've got the picking the first name. So good luck to all players. Here we go. Sean Nyland.
Sean Nyland to open us up. Who will he be playing, Owen?
Sean Nyland will play Henry Moores.
Henry Moores.
Henry Moores. There you go. I was trying to do a Middlesbrough accent there. And
There
haven't
we
worked too
go.
well. Right, there we
Picture
go.
number
Nice
one.
Yep, next.
Did I get my Moors and Moors wrong, did I?
Moores.
Orkelfish.
Orkelfish, there we go. Like I said, a legend of the FIFA community. And he will be playing
He'll be playing darts for fun.
darts for fun. Wow,
Okay.
Orkelfish has his work cut out from there, potentially. Darts for fun. What a player. You might see him on this stage as an actual player at some point, maybe. We'll find out soon enough. But
Is he that good, is
he's
he?
that running 90 average. Yeah.
I think the winner, Angry Ginge.
Angry Ginge, what a name. He's probably the modern FIFA legend, so to speak. Whereas Orkelfish, you know, back in the day. Good lad.
What's FIFA?
It's that
the
federation for football, mate.
This is FG.
FG versus Angry Ginge, that's a big draw. Manchester City versus Manchester United. A bit of a rivalry, a bit of a derby on the stage.
City. There we go. Next. That's your club, innit?
It's my turn as well.
Sorry, mate. Off you go again.
The final two names. I mean, we know who they are, but let's dot the I's and all that.
The Hull Boy.
The Hull Boy. I'm excited to see how he does, actually. He's really wholesome. He's only 16 years old, doing a lot for charity. A really good guy.
And I'll be playing my pick for the day, away days.
Away days versus the Hull Boy. What a draw. Well, there we go. All 8 draws are confirmed. And the pairs draw also confirmed. Fellas, a quick roundup. Who do you think's winning both events?
I'm really looking forward to the whole event, but I like the name Orkelfish. I'm learning about FIFA, so he gets my vote.
High praise from the former Premier League champion. Owen, what about yourself?
I'm going to go for... I think the Hull Boy is going to win. I think he'll be really pleased to get down to a place like Portsmouth and escape Hull. So I think he's going to be in really positive vibes for the day, and I feel like he's going to flourish. Yeah. No offence to anyone from Yorkshire who's going to kill me now.
Well, fantastic. I'll go for Angry Ginge myself. Well, thank you very much for watching, guys. Remember, the event is on September 8th on the MODUS Super Series YouTube channel. It starts at 3 PM. Don't miss the action. The biggest live stream ever on the Super Series channel was the first one, so let's see how the second one does.